He didn't tell anyone he was leaving the job. He simply stopped resisting. No resignation letter, no grand goodbye, just quiet clarity. The next week, a friend called with an unexpected opportunity, one that matched the version of himself he hadn't spoken aloud, but had quietly become. Not a word had been said, yet everything had already shifted. You've heard the advice. Speak it into existence. Repeat it until it's real. But what if your greatest manifestations don't need to be spoken at all? In this video, you'll discover the power of silent alignment, the art of manifesting through presence, not persuasion. When your vibration matches your desire, there's nothing more to say, and everything begins to move. If you've been doing all the right things but still waiting, stay with me. The silence you've been sitting in may already be the most powerful signal you've ever sent. A candle does not explain its light. It simply burns, and the room changes. When you are aligned, your presence speaks louder than any words. True manifestation does not begin with speech. It begins with silence, with that quiet inner yes that no one else hears. When your being and your desire hold the same frequency, the world shifts without needing to be told. There is no announcement, no request, just reality responding. This is the secret of silent manifestation. Energy, not explanation. Most people try to manifest by speaking more, by declaring, describing, convincing. But I tell you, the true shift occurs when nothing needs to be said. When you no longer try to become, because you already are. That is embodied manifestation. The outer world cannot resist what the inner world no longer doubts. Alignment is not performance, it is presence. When your vibration frequency reflects clarity, trust, and expectation, it calls in your desire before you speak of it. You don't manifest through volume, you manifest through coherence. Like a tuning fork, you need only hum the right tone, and life will match it. So rest for a moment. Consider the quiet choices you've made, the moments you stopped explaining, and simply lived the change. That is power. And in that quiet certainty, you'll find why speaking too soon can interrupt the sacred unfolding. A seed doesn't shout its intention. It rests underground, unseen, held in silence. But the moment you dig it up to check, you disturb its growth. We are often taught to speak our desires boldly, to proclaim, to affirm, to declare. But there is a moment in the manifestation process where speech can dilute the signal. When the energy is still forming, too much talking pulls it outward before it has settled within. The vibration becomes scattered. The frequency weakens. Words are powerful tools, but they are not always necessary. Sometimes, speaking a desire too early reveals our own doubt. It's an unconscious way of asking for permission or seeking validation. And I tell you, the universe does not respond to asking, it responds to knowing. Silence, in that sacred phase, preserves the signal. There is a difference between commanding and over-explaining. When you speak from alignment, your words echo power. But when you speak from uncertainty, your tone betrays your intention. This is why inner stillness must come first. In that space, energetic alignment can take root before it is released into language. So I invite you to hold your desire like a quiet flame. Let it glow in the dark, untouched by noise. For when you stop speaking, something deeper begins to rise. A field of certainty so magnetic it speaks for you. Stand near someone who knows who they are. You'll feel it. They don't have to say a word. Certainty vibrates, and in silence, it becomes magnetic. There is a quiet confidence that draws the world in. It doesn't need to convince, compare, or seek proof. It simply knows. And in that knowing, a magnetic field is formed, one that shapes reality, not through effort, but through presence. This is the true core of silent manifestation, alignment that emanates from being, not doing. When you stop questioning, your vibration frequency becomes stable. It sends a consistent signal that life can respond to with clarity. You begin to attract from resonance, not repetition. This is not passive, it is potent. Inner certainty is not loud, it is unwavering. It doesn't ask, it expects. Think of a tuning fork again. It doesn't force sound. It holds tone. You are the same. The more you embody belief without the need to prove it, the stronger your signal becomes. Energetic alignment is the result of this congruence, a truth you carry so fully that the world bends to match it. So feel into your body now. Not what you want to say, but what you already know. Let that certainty deepen. Let it shape your air, your step, your stillness. Because when you begin to live from that field, you won't need to speak your desires. You'll begin to become them. A dancer does not describe the dance. They are the dance. So too, manifestation accelerates when you stop reaching and start becoming. The most powerful alignment is invisible. It's not in your voice, not in your to-do list. It lives in your posture, your energy, your breath. When your emotions, thoughts, and actions quietly mirror the reality you desire, there is no gap left for doubt. You no longer hope for the wish, you embody it, and life listens. Congruence is when every layer of your being hums the same tone, when the way you rise in the morning, the choices you make, and the feelings you hold are all speaking the same silent language. It is done. This is embodied manifestation. It does not ask for change. It channels it. You'll notice something shift when you enter this space. Others respond to you differently. Opportunities arrive without being sought. Why? Because you've become the energetic match to what once felt separate. The world no longer needs to be persuaded. It sees you as the thing you once only visualized. So pause now. Breathe into the life you already carry. Feel the quiet congruence taking shape, the subtle agreement between your essence and your future. For when that alignment holds, stillness itself begins to speak through your body. A mountain says nothing, yet its presence is undeniable. Stillness, when aligned, carries more power than 1,000 words. We have been taught that movement is proof of progress. But in truth, stillness is one of the most potent forms of communication. When the body is settled, not slouched in defeat, but rooted in quiet knowing, it amplifies vibration. This is not stillness from apathy, but stillness from sovereignty, a sacred silence that speaks for you. The physical body is a transmitter. Every gesture, every breath, every pause sends a message. When that message flows from inner stillness, it becomes coherent, powerful, magnetic. In this state, you don't need to chase. You become a point of attraction. The vibration frequency you emit becomes your calling card. The more calm and embodied your state, the clearer your energetic alignment. This is why spiritual traditions across centuries taught posture, presence, and stillness, not as aesthetic, but as access. When your body becomes still, your energy becomes loud. The signal sharpens, the field strengthens, and life begins to respond. So I invite you now, sit in stillness. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath deepen. Let your body speak the truth you no longer need to explain. Because from this posture of peace, desire no longer needs language. It simply rises. Before the world had words, it had will. Creation responded not to phrases, but to pure intent. And that ancient way of manifesting still lives in you. Desire does not begin with language. It begins with a feeling, a stirring in the chest, a breath that changes, a sense of yes rising from within. When you hold that feeling without naming it, it expands. It moves past the filters of logic and ego. It becomes direct. This is where silent manifestation is born, in the space before words. Language can distort. The moment we try to describe a desire, we reduce it. We edit, doubt, overthink. But when you allow your vision to stay wordless, to remain as sensation, as vibration, it aligns more purely with the field. The universe understands energy, not grammar. It listens to your frequency, not your phrasing. This is why some of your most powerful manifestations came not from planning, but from knowing. A deep, silent yes in your being, a calm expectation without explanation. That is embodied manifestation, not as performance, but as presence. Your desire, no longer needing to be spoken, becomes its own form of clarity. So I invite you to drop beneath the mind. Feel the shape of what you want, not in sentences, but in soul. That is your true prayer. And when this non-verbal frequency is held, the world begins to respond before you've made a sound. You've felt it before. Someone enters the room and shifts the air without saying a thing. Their energy speaks, and so does yours. You are always broadcasting. Whether you speak or stay silent, your vibration walks ahead of you. People respond not to your words, but to your presence, to what you carry beneath your expressions. Opportunities, encounters, reactions, they all emerge from that unseen signal. You are not invisible. Your frequency is announcing you. This is why intention matters more than performance. You may act confident, but if you carry doubt beneath your surface, others will feel it. Likewise, when you are calm, congruent, and clear, even in silence, the world meets you differently. Your energy speaks in every moment. It precedes your body, fills your space. Vibration frequency doesn't lie. It reflects what you truly believe, what you expect, what you embody. This is the mystery behind lucky people. Their energetic alignment is consistent, even when they say nothing at all. They emit quiet confidence, quiet worth, quiet knowing, and life organizes around that signal. So ask yourself gently, what are you saying without words? What does your presence declare before you even arrive? For once you become aware of the message your silence is sending. You may choose to let that silence become a ritual of trust. When a child falls asleep in a parent's arms, it says nothing, and yet everything. That kind of silence is trust embodied. Silence, when rooted in fear, becomes suppression, but silence born of knowing, that is sacred. It is not avoidance, it is assurance. When you choose not to ask, not to push, not to explain, it is not passivity, it is power. You are saying, I trust the unfolding. You are saying, I know it's coming, without a word. This kind of silence is a practice, a ritual, a returning. You may feel the urge to talk about it, to seek reassurance, to check the clock of your manifestation. But each time you remain still, remain calm, remain certain, your vibration sharpens. This is inner stillness becoming outer result. This is energetic alignment in action. When you no longer speak your desires, it does not mean you've forgotten them. It means you've absorbed them. They are no longer separate. They live in you. This is the power of embodied manifestation. You walk through the world as though it is done, and life responds as if it is. So I invite you to treat silence not as absence, but as presence. Not as empty space, but as sacred confirmation. Because when you no longer ask out loud, you begin to live as the quiet answer. There comes a moment when the question dissolves, not because it was answered, but because you became the answer yourself. To live as the quiet answer means you no longer seek signs, you are the sign. Your presence becomes the confirmation. The energy you carry affirms your desire is fulfilled not someday, but now. No more waiting, no more watching. You walk, breathe, and move as the one who already has. This is the highest form of alignment. It's not that you've stopped caring, it's that your vibration is no longer attached to proving or performing. Your life becomes the demonstration. You wake up differently. You dress, choose, and speak from a place of already. Others may not understand it, but they will feel it. You've stopped asking and you've started embodying. This is the path of silent manifestation, not to draw the world in with arguments, but with resonance. You become a mirror of fulfilled desire. Inner stillness becomes natural because there's no gap left to fill. You are whole, and that wholeness emits a signal far louder than any declaration. So now I leave you with this invitation. Walk today as the answer. Feel it in your posture. Let it color your breath. For when you live as the fulfillment, you never need to announce it. The world will respond before you speak. What if your silence has been speaking louder than your words all along? What if every breath, every still moment has been shaping your reality? Pause and ask yourself, where in your life are you already aligned? Without effort, without noise. If this message resonated with you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell to keep receiving quiet truths that change everything. Your next manifestation may not need a voice, only your vibration.